Hello everyone, welcome back to the POPSICLE KNIGHT channel. My name is Joseph. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out this video. Please don't forget to click the like button if you like this video, or hit the thumbs down if you don't. It will really help me out to get this video to more viewers like you. Also, if you enjoy the contents of this channel, please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and feel free to share this content. With that said, let's get started. So for today, we'll be talking about the new Salazzle and Weepinbell combo from Battle Styles. For most of you, this is nothing new. However, there are two matchups that a normal Salazzle Weepinbell build absolutely cannot beat, or at least will have an absolute hard time. The first one is Corviknight VMAX, also from Battle Styles, and grass decks that use Aromatic Energy, and I'll explain why in a little bit. So this build that I'll be showing you is designed to counter even these impossible matchups. But first, let's take a look at the main characters of this build. First will be our main attacker, Salazzle. It is worth noting that I'm using the Salandit with the Smog attack for its pre-evolution. For 1 fire energy, you can poison your opponent, and this may come in handy later on. So Salazzle is a stage 1 with only 90 HP, so it's very easy to get knocked out. But I've added in a copy of Big Charm to add HP, where it might come in handy. Salazzle has 2 attacks. The first one is Perplex. For 1 fire energy, your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. This can actually be good for stalling, because now when your opponent's active tries to attack, they will have to flip a coin and get heads to land a hit. But not only that, this can add a special condition to your opponent's active Pokemon, which sets up for Salazzle's second attack. I actually like using this attack once in a while. That's why I included 1 fire energy and an aurora energy with this build. Now for its second attack, which will be the main attack that we'll be using, Derisive Roasting. For 2 colorless energy, this attack will deal 90 damage times each special condition affecting your opponent's active Pokemon. But be warned, if your opponent's active Pokemon does not have any special conditions on it, this attack does nothing. Again, that's why the Perplex attack can be useful, because it adds confusion, and the Smog attack, which add poison to your opponent's active. Also keep in mind that any Pokemon cannot be asleep, confused, or paralyzed at the same time. Those 3 special conditions fall in the same category, because in the TCG game, this requires you to rotate the card in a specific way to show which condition it's afflicted with, so you can only have 1 at a time. So currently in the game, you can only have 3 special conditions that can affect an active Pokemon at the same time. One of either sleep, paralyze, or confusion, and then the other 2 will be burn and poison. So if your opponent has a maximum of 3 special conditions on it, Salazzle's Derisive Roasting will deal 270 damage, but then poison and burn will take effect during checkup. Poison will deal 10 damage between checkup and will remain on the opponent's active Pokemon, while burn will deal 20 damage and your opponent can flip a coin, and if it's heads, the burn condition will be removed. So in total, after you attack, you will have dealt 300 damage on your opponent's active Pokemon, which is a lot of damage. And to help with those special conditions is the Bellsprout line. Let's start with Bellsprout. Be careful with this one because it only has 50 HP and it can get knocked out with bench damage. It has the attack Venoshock. For 1 colorless energy, it will deal 10 base damage. But if your opponent's active is poisoned, it will deal 50 damage instead. I've actually used this a few times for a knockout, so utilize this attack if you need to. Its stage 1, however, is the most useful. Weepinbell, because this is literally designed to synergize with Salazzle. It has the ability Dangerous Mucus. Basically, if you play this card from your hand to evolve, you can choose to inflict burn and poison on your opponent's active Pokemon. So by adding 2 special conditions, Salazzle can deal 180 damage with just the 2 conditions. And you can keep utilizing this ability by using Scoop Up Net, get it out of the bench, and re-evolve it for your next turn. And I'm also adding 1 copy of Victreebel. It has 150 HP with 2 attacks. The first one is Panic Vine. For 1 grass energy, you deal 40 base damage. It confuses your opponent's active, and it will not be able to retreat during your opponent's next turn, which is why I've added 1 grass energy and aurora energy to use this attack. So not only does this attack inflict a very disruptive condition, it adds a special condition which could potentially increase Salazzle's attack. And its second attack is Solar Beam. For 1 grass and 2 colorless energy, it will deal 120 base damage. And to find these grass evolutions, I've included 1 copy of Turffield Stadium to do just that. This build also goes well with the Yellhorn card, which confuses both yours and your opponent's active Pokemon. So what you would want to do before evolving Salandit is to use Yellhorn confuse both active, then you can evolve into a Salazzle, which will remove the confusion from your Pokemon, allowing it to freely attack your opponent's active. Additionally, Koga's Trap Supporter is also very important for this build. It basically inflicts poison and confusion on your opponent's active Pokemon. Again, adding those special conditions just in case Weepinbell is not available. For consistency, I'm using Zacian V just for its Intrepid Sword ability, Corviknight V for its Exciting Stage ability so that we can draw cards until we have 3, or 4 if this is in the active spot, and 1 Crobat V for its Dark Acid ability, and also 1 Mew so we can prevent bench damage. As for the rest of the deck, I have 2 Crushing Hammers, 1 Fan of Waves, 4 Level Balls, which is the best way of getting our Salazzles and Weepinbells, 1 Ordinary Rod, 2 Pokemon Communication, 1 Boss's Orders, 1 Cynthia and Caitlyn, 2 Marnies, 2 Professor's Research, and 2 Skylas, and 1 U-turn board for retreating. As for energy, I have a set of Capture Energy, which not only energizes Salazzle, it will also help us to set up another line of Salazzle or Weepinbell at the same time. Because as you know, life expectancy for most of our Pokemon is really short. Next is a full set of Twin Energy to fully energize Salazzle's attack. So now that we've covered the base builds, I'll now be talking about 2 of the hardest matchups for Salazzle Weepinbell in the game. First is Corviknight VMAX. Remember that for Salazzle's attack to work, your opponent has to have special conditions, and our primary source of inflicting special conditions is Weepinbell's ability. However, Corviknight's ability, Lustrous Body, prevents all effects of your opponent's abilities done to this Pokemon, so Weepinbell's ability will have no effect. So one way to beat this guy is to use Koga's Trap to inflict 2 special conditions and hit it for its weakness to fire, and Salazzle should be able to knock it out with 1 hit. But you can also use Yellhorn to at least confuse it. But Corviknight VMAX can easily get out of these special conditions because it has no retreat cost, so once it retreats, all of those special conditions go away. So the key is to really get the combo in one go. Additionally, metal decks also use Decoding Energy to remove its weakness to fire, so to deal with this, you'll also have to use Crushing Hammer or Fan of Waves to remove the special energy. And that's the only way you can beat this Corviknight VMAX. It's a hard combo to pull, but at least you'll have a fighting chance. And Cobalion is also bad news if your opponent has one in their metal deck, but we'll deal with Corviknight VMAX for now. The second problem is for grass Pokemon who uses Aromatic Energy because it completely prevents any special condition to the grass Pokemon this energy is attached to. So the one way to deal with this is again by using Crushing Hammer or Fan of Waves so that you can remove the energy attached to your opponent's Pokemon. Then you can inflict the special conditions and knock out your opponent. And again, you should be hitting for weakness with Salazzle. But for the memes, you can also use Victreebel to deal some good damage against your opponent. But definitely, if your opponent has Galarian Rapidash with the ability to completely negate special conditions to all their Pokemon, you're pretty much hopeless and you should just concede. But just so you know, I had to play a lot of games just so I can showcase some of these specific scenarios. So be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And that's pretty much it. My most optimal deck list will be in the description below. But enough talk, let's see some gameplay. Okay, so for this one, I am speeding up the game footage here because this one took a while, almost half an hour, because you'll see my first matchup will be a little bit more difficult. And also, this is one of my preliminary builds. A lot of the same elements I am using on my optimal build, but it works out pretty well. And also you'll see some different cards that I'm using here that actually works out pretty well, but again, I did edit it to where it's more optimal, so that each time I get it from my hand, I'll be able to use it. So Sonia works pretty well, but I didn't see myself using it as often, so I kind of took that one out of the final deck list. Alright, so you'll notice that we are fighting a Decidueye deck, and they are using the Aromatic Energy. So I used up the fan, but I think it was a little bit too premature to use that. I should have like, you should always use that just before you attack, actually, because it only puts it in the bottom of your opponent's deck and they can just find it. So always use that sparingly, only when you're about to attack. And also, I actually thought of using the Burning Scarf so that when they attack Salazzle, the attacking Pokemon will be burnt, so you'll be ready to attack on the next turn, and your opponent already has a pre-existing condition. However, again, with this matchup, it was a little bit more difficult because of, again, Aromatic Energy that our opponent is using. But you'll see how I deal with this matchup, and we will get by. We will get by. So here they're using Fion to switch out, and I just chose to switch into Salazzle. They won't be able to attack anyways, so I thought that was gonna be okay. So here I'm just thinking of thinning out my hand and then use Cricket Tune to get one more card from my deck. Hopefully it's a something that can help us with Weepinbell. So we got a quick ball here, and I got a Salazzle, and here I'm gonna use, unfortunately, Cricket Tune did not get us Weepinbell on that one. And again, this is the thing with Salazzle. If your opponent doesn't have any conditions to it, it won't be able to attack. So that fire energy becomes useful, so you can confuse it. But now with the Aromatic Energy, I won't be able to inflict any special conditions on it. So that's what made this matchup a little bit challenging for me, because of that. So if you do get if you do face off against the grass type, that's most likely what's gonna happen with your Salazzle Weepinbell deck. So just be prepared to be able to counter their special energy. So here I have the fire energy available, and actually Jirachi falls asleep. It has a special condition, so you could actually, technically, you could attack Jirachi. But I went ahead and just targeted Rowlet, so just before it evolves into Decidueye. But we'll see what our opponent does here. They do Bird Keeper into Jirachi again. Now they have a fully evolved Decidueye and an Aromatic Energy attached to it. So it's really making my match here difficult with that Aromatic Energy. So finding the right Pokemon to target is gonna be the challenge. So how do you think I'll be able to get through this match? If you were in my position, what would you do? Or what cards would you include so that you'll be able to face off with opponents like these? Right, so they're gonna keep hitting us with the Zigzagoon. Alright, so we get another Burning Scarf. So I'm just I did have a lot more energies in this particular build, and I keep this is actually the first matchup that I had with Aromatic Energy, so I just callously used that fan, you know, without thinking it through. So learn from my mistakes. I definitely did learn from mine, and I did have more than one fan of waves in this particular build, but the problem with that is that not all matchups use special energy. So I just opted to do two crushing hammers instead. It won't always be successful, but at least it discards the energy instead of putting it at the bottom of the deck. So we were able to knock out that Snorlax because that one doesn't have any protection from Weepinbell's ability. So you'll notice that I've been actually building up Weepinbell's energies. So in my optimal build, I do only use one grass energy, and I also have one aurora energy on it. But since it only requires one energy and the others are colorless, you can easily energize Victreebel. Yes, that's my answer to this matchup. I did use a Victreebel in this matchup. So with one grass, well, I have two grass energies attached to Victreebel and one fire. That's enough to start using Solar Beam for 120 damage. So Decidueye only has 140 HP, so at least we'll be able to do that. And we can do chip damage with its first attack, Panic Vine. So it'll confuse the Decidueye and prevent it from escaping. So unless it has Aromatic Energy, again, it'll do some chip damage at least. And we can finish it off with Solar Beam. So I do have two Victreebels in this particular build. But over time, as I continue to play, I didn't see the need to use Victreebel as much because I do focus on using Weepinbell more for its ability, so that it can add to the overall damage of Salazzle's attack. So that's gonna be the answer to this matchup against Decidueye is Victreebel. So at least for once, Victreebel becomes the hero and saves the day. So just keep using Solar Beam. So our opponent doesn't have any energies on it, and even if they do evolve into Decidueye, they need two energies first of all, and that they don't have it yet. But if they do hit, it's gonna hit for 90 damage, and it's not gonna knock out our Victreebel that easily because it has 150 HP. So at least for this matchup, it is a little bit of a fair match. In a sense that they're not knocking us out with one hit. So against other decks, probably Orbeetle VMAX, and then they use Aromatic Energy, then that's going to be a big problem. Unless you do combo where you do remove the Aromatic Energy just before you attack, and then that way you can probably one-hit KO an Orbeetle VMAX, but it's definitely gonna be a tough matchup. So they're gonna target our Mew here so that they can continue to hit with bench damage. So we're gonna continue to hit with Victreebel to earn us our victory. We're gonna use I used Ordinary Rod there to get our Mew back. Get this Victreebel, Weepinbell just in case, and continue to attack with Victreebel. We should be able to knock this out in the next turn, unless they retreat with it. But we can start building up another. I was thinking of building up another Victreebel here just in case, and that's gonna add to our opponent's difficulty. They're gonna have a difficult time knocking out our Pokemons. Or at least they'll worry about another attacker. Yeah, so they switch out because they're gonna get knocked out if they don't. So I'm gonna use captured energy here to get a Mew to continue to protect our bench. And I'm just gonna continue to pressure our opponent by using Solar Beam and now both of their Decidueyes are in the brink of getting knocked out. So we need 2 more prizes here. So once we knock one out, we just need to knock out one more. And actually Mew can finish them off. The other Decidueye. So we got 1 prize card off of that. Even if they knock out this Victreebel, which they won't, we'll just attack and knock it out. So against Decidueye, it was a little tough in the very beginning, especially with the our opponent's Aromatic Energy equipped, because you can't put any pressure on them with special conditions. But at least we were able to get through it thanks to, again, Victreebel, earning us our victory. so this one was a little bit of a, this was a long game, man. But I thought I'd include this here just so we can make Victreebel a hero, and that worked out pretty well. And Decidueye is used pretty often, so I think this is a good way of showcasing this type of matchup. So that earns us our last prize, and we win the game. Alright, so yeah, we can go first. So I've been playing a lot of games with Salazzle and Weepinbell. We're just gonna put Zacian V in the active. I have been facing off a lot of Corviknight VMAX, and I've been trying to optimize this particular build. So we'll put this Capture Energy on our Salandit, and I'm just gonna get Cricket Tune, and I'm gonna Intrepid Sword here. Yeah, so I've always been losing to Corviknight VMAX. Not only are they able to heal completely, especially a lot of players are using it with Cheryl, and then they have Bronzong to move those energies. It's unbelievable. I always lose, and then I can't inflict any conditions using Weepinbell because it's immune to its ability. So for this matchup, though, we are facing off against Cinderace VMAX deck. Let's see how we fare here. Weepinbell is weak against fire, but it won't usually see any. You won't see it attack because we're gonna be focusing mostly on Salazzle. So with that Capture Energy, that gets us another Salandit in our bench, and I'm just gonna use this Big Charm. That could possibly save our life if they do use chip damage and things like that. That's why I do have Big Charm in my build. So with the Intrepid Sword, we get the fan and everything. So looking good so far. But yeah, I've been facing off against Corviknight VMAX. Weepinbell's ability can't inflict it, so I always have a hard time knocking it out. Even if it's weak against Salazzle, it also has the special metal energy that makes it not weak to fire. So it's so difficult. So I've been optimizing this build so I can face off against it, and so that's basically been my goal, is to find another Corviknight to see whether or not this build of mine will actually win against Corviknight VMAX. So that's gonna be the thing. We're gonna keep battling until we find a Corviknight. So we're just gonna evolve into Weepinbell here. That's gonna inflict poison and burn. So we're gonna scoop it up first so we can use it in the next turn. And I'm gonna use Weepinbell actually to get ourselves a Salazzle. And before you evolve, use Yellhorn to confuse. That will inflict 3 special conditions on our opponent, and that will increase Salazzle's damage. I'm gonna go ahead and try Hammer here. Nice. They can easily attach it, but at least they won't be able to attach on their other Pokemon. Okay, we can use Turffield Stadium to get another Weepinbell. Put Bellsprout on the bench and evolve into Salazzle. So now we have 2 attackers. We're just gonna use Derisive, and that will inflict 300 damage. So 270 damage plus poison plus burn is 300 damage. So they flip a coin whether or not their burn will go away. So yeah, Salazzle is pretty strong. It's a pretty strong Pokemon. Derisive Roasting. Very, very deadly attack. Alright, so they're charging up their Incineroar. I haven't seen Incineroar in any deck. It's not that popular, even among fire type decks. So it's nice to see someone actually trying to use it. Okay, they succeed against that counter, but actually our opponent will just get knocked out because of the poison and burn. Yeah. All right, so we got 3 prizes for that, which is really good. Alright, so it's our turn now. Let's get a Weepinbell off of the Turffield Stadium. Evolve that, inflict poison and burn. So we'll be hitting for at least 180 damage. Plus poison and burn is 210 damage. We can't evolve Salandit yet, so that's kind of a shame. Wish we had a switch so we can use Yellhorn. Okay, I'm just gonna use Level Ball here. Get another Weepinbell. Maybe we can evolve into Victreebel just in case we need to use it. Let's see, I think let me attach this first before I attack. Derisive Roasting for 180 damage plus 3. 210. Okay. Well, at least if they don't retreat with this Incineroar, they will get knocked out with the poison, and then we can knock out whichever Pokemon they put in the active thereafter. So that's the plan. So it really does put pressure on our opponent, these special conditions, especially with confusion. You know, if they can't get their Pokemon out of the active, they'll have to flip a coin, and if they're unsuccessful, that will hit them for 30 damage. So our opponent also has Crushing Hammer. That's okay, because we can use U-turn board, retreat into our Salandit, evolve, use Yellhorn, evolve into Salazzle, use Weepinbell. So that'll knock out their Incineroar. So whichever one they put in the active, we can just knock it out. We get 2 prizes for that. There's our Grass Energy for Victreebel just in case. And a Scoop Up Net. Yeah, so we pretty much have this game unless they evolve into Cinderace VMAX, which they won't be able to because it's our turn. Yeah, so we pretty much have this game in the bag against Cinderace VMAX and Reshizard, even though we didn't see any of that, any of Reshizard in action. So Weepinbell will inflict poison and burn. We can use this. We're gonna retreat anyways. I'm just gonna scoop it up, I think. Either way, U-turn board, scoop up, doesn't matter. Alright. Derisive Roasting for 270 damage for the win. Good game. Yeah, so I've been... yeah, let's go first. I like going first with this deck. Alright, we got 2 Salandits off the bat. So we're definitely going to put that in the active and the bench. We got a level ball we can use for Bellsprout and Turffield Stadium for a Weepinbell. So we're pretty much all set. We just need energy. And we are up against a lightning deck, Mewtwo and Mew tag team. So the hunt continues for the Corviknight VMAX. That's really the match I wanna fight and actually win. You know? But let's see how we do here. Any match against lightning deck it kind of worries me because it's just a very consistent deck, in my opinion. Okay, so they have another Mewtwo and Mew tag team. But yeah, I've been playing Salazzle and Weepinbell for some time now, and it's just, I don't know, it's so much fun to play. Alright, so Jirachi GX removes any weakness to Psychic. So we'll use Yell Horn before we evolve into Salazzle. And I think I'm going to sacrifice this one on my hand so we can use Professor's Research. And we do get a Weepinbell. Unfortunately, we don't have a Twin Energy. So I'll just stall by using the Fan of Waves. Evolve into Weepinbell. I'm just going to go for that chip damage with the Poison and Burn against this Mewtwo. And if they don't have a switch, they'll have to hard retreat. And then I'm gonna use get Zacian V with that capture energy so we can use Intrepid Sword. We do have a Twin Energy now, and also Koga's Trap. So even if they get out of this one, we should be, oh man. But they reset stamp us. That'll get us new cards in our hand. We get 2 Kogas. Okay, that's good enough for me. But they were successful in attacking. 130 damage. So we'll put this Salazzle in the active. We should be able to knock it out with 1 hit. Nice. So they still have burn. So I'm gonna scoop up Weepinbell here so we can use it in the next turn. Put Mew just in case they hit our bench. Put Twin Energy. And just knock out this Mewtwo and Mew with 1 energy. Technically it's 1 energy because it's, you attach it once. Twin Energy. So we get a Victreebel, Crobat, and a level ball. Nice. Yeah, this deck build, this combo with Salazzle and Weepinbell, so much fun. I do recommend it if you guys can build this one. And you don't even need to use like Zacian V or Crobat. You can go for like a Snorlax build or something like that with the Gourmandize. There's always a way for that consistency, but just to make it easy for me, I am using these 2. So I'll just use Level Ball here to get another Salazzle. Just in case they knock this one out in the active, we have 1 ready to go. So with that Capture Energy, we get another Bellsprout. We can use... Yeah, let's evolve into Weepinbell. That'll get them poisoned, and the Bolton will be poisoned and burned. So with that effect, even though it does 180 damage, Poison and Burn will do a total of 210 damage against Bolton V. Very powerful, man. Salazzle, Weepinbell. Very powerful. So with this now, even if they knock it out, we have Aurora Energy on hand. So we can use Koga's Trap, Weepinbell, evolve the other Bellsprout, 270 damage, and that'll win us the game. It's not too bad. I'm surprised they weren't able to counter our Weepinbell Salazzle combo. Full Blitz. Yeah, this one counters a lot of tier 1 decks. I was amazed when I started playing this one. Crazy good, crazy good. Highly recommended. Alright, so we'll put that there to evolve. Yes, Burn and Poison. And then we'll use this to evolve Victreebel, just because. Use that, get rid of one Koga. Use Koga's Trap to confuse. And Derisive roasting for 270 damage for the win. Good game. Alright, so the hunt continues for Corviknight VMAX. Unfortunately, we are up against a dark type deck. Let's see who we're up against. Okay, so we can put Salandit in the active, Bellsprout and Zacian V in the bench. Ooh, I don't feel too comfortable about fighting this one. Let me just Intrepid Sword. Yeah, Eternatus VMAX. Give him a smiley, smiley face. Eternatus VMAX has a lot of HP. Okay, we deal 330 damage. Well, no, 300 damage with Poison and Burn, but it won't be enough to knock it out. Okay. Yeah, so this is going to be a tough battle for sure. And if they have boss's orders, they might target our Zacian V. I'm just going to confuse it for now. Prevent it from energizing the bench. I'm going to evolve into Salazzle. Use Level Ball. Evolve into Weepinbell. Trying to thin out my hand. Maybe we can use Crobat or something. Can use Skyla. But I think I'm just gonna use Marnie here. We do get a Twin Energy, but unfortunately we don't have a Scoop Up Net. So I'm using Speed here. Well, we can use this. Maybe Crobat can help us out. So Crobat, get us our net. Let's thin out our hand. Let's get our Scoop Up Net. Oh, or a Switch, nothing. Alright, we'll just put this landed. That was close. Intrepid Sword for now then. There's the Scoop Up Net. And Scoop Up Net. Why you come out now? But yeah, that would have been epic. We could have just knocked out that Eternatus V. But now they're able to evolve it. We won't be able to knock it out. Okay, that knocks out our Weepinbell. Now we can't scoop it up. Okay. We can hit for 300 damage. But we need Confusion, Poison and Burn. And it doesn't look like it's happening. And even if we do change their... even if we put Special Condition, they have Hiding Energy, so they can just retreat and remove it. But we'll try. We'll try here. Another chip damage with Weepinbell. we can scoop it up, do some major damage even with 2 conditions. Let me do Pokemon Communication here to get another Salazzle. That way, even if they knock out our Salazzle, let's use the fan to get rid of that. Maybe that will slow them down. Put Salazzle in the active. So Fan of Waves is a little useful. Really useful, I think. And we're just gonna attack for 180. So that's 210 damage. They will be knocked out in the in our next turn if they don't escape out of this. But we also have Weepinbell, so we're good. Yeah, so we should be able to knock it out. You can use Quick Ball, probably a Crobat. Yep, for sure. Dude, don't fill up your bench. What are you doing? You know, your VMAX is gonna get knocked out, and you're gonna discard all those cards, and you don't have a backup Eternatus VMAX. Oh man, what are you doing? Yeah, so guys, don't be too critical on other people, alright? When you're in that moment and you're playing the game, sometimes you don't think straight, so there it is. It's either gonna have to you will make mistakes for sure. Sometimes you don't even realize you made a wrong move, and there's a better move that can win you the game. You know, unless you're a professional for real and you don't miss anything, then you're in a different level for sure. But for me, you know, I'm not. I'll probably make that same mistake with that what our opponent did. So for now, we are in control. I can't believe we're winning this one actually. So the thing with Eternatus VMAX is that unless they have a lot of boss's orders and they target our 2 prizers, they can win that way. But if they just keep attacking our Salazzle, they're not gonna get anywhere. So there you go. Now they have 2 Eternatus VMAX. And they're gonna Marnie. Okay, so that will put our Weepinbell in the bottom of the deck. You know, Brock's Grit, I don't think it's... I haven't found the need to use Brock's Grit. I think I'll just exchange that for Ordinary Rod for real. So I'm just gonna Marnie here. We use Yell Horn to confuse. At least they won't be able to attack. They'll have to retreat. Find a way to get out of the active. We get 2 more Salandits, which is good. And I'm just gonna Intrepid Sword here. They shouldn't be able to attack yet, unless they have a lot of switch. And even with their other Eternatus, they don't have energy, so they can only attack with the one in the active. But now they're fighting back with poison. Yeah, we should still be fine. That's gonna put 4 damage. We got a Weepinbell, okay. Yeah. So that'll inflict poison and burn. Let's scoop this guy up. We can put our other Salandit in the active. Evolve. Put this Salandit. Should I put Bellsprout instead, actually? Yeah, I'll just put Bellsprout instead. Put this Twin Energy. And I'm gonna use Skyla. Okay, our opponent scoops. Good game. We were in control. Good game. Alright, the quest continues. Corviknight VMAX. Where are you at? I need to be able to try out try out the match against you and actually win. Is this a Corviknight VMAX? Alright, we'll put Salazzle in the active. Corviknight. Ooh, okay. We are up against ADP Zacian. We're just gonna get Bellsprout with this level ball. And we're just gonna pass. Yeah, so if our opponent gets to Alter Creation here, they'll just need to knock out 3 of our Pokemon and then win the game. So this is definitely a hard battle to fight, but if we do set up correctly here in the next turn, we could one-hit KO this ADP actually. Yes, Salazzle is able to do that. So what we need to do against ADP basically is beat them in their own game, because it's really fast, so we have to be just as fast or faster in this case. So we have almost all the elements in our hand. The best they can do is Altered Creation, so they won't be able to knock out any of our Pokemon just yet. So I'm thinking of using Yell Horn to confuse, evolve Weepinbell, and then evolve into Salazzle, and then use Marnie, and hopefully we get a Twin Energy. Alright, so we get another turn before they use Altered Creation. We get a Skyla off of our top deck. Evolve. Oh wait, no. Use Yell Horn first to confuse. Then we're gonna use evolve into Weepinbell so we can poison and burn. So that's a maximum of 3 special conditions. Evolve into Salazzle, and Marnie, get us to our Twin Energy. Let's go. Unfortunately, we don't get it. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna use up this Scoop Up Net then to get our Weepinbell, so we can use it in our next turn, because they can flip a coin here and remove burn. Okay, yeah. So we won't be able to knock out ADP without that 3rd special condition. At least ADP is confused. That way they won't be able to, they'll have a hard time using Altered Creation because they're not successful. They're just gonna get damaged. Gonna boss this order. Oof. Sorry. Okay. And actually, even with just 2 conditions, we can knock this guy out. But we just gotta get... let's just do this. Let's Weepinbell. Get that 3rd condition. Let's see, we don't need to use Yell Horn. Come on, Professor's Research. I need like a Switch, Scoop Up Net, anything to get Weepinbell, and a Twin Energy. Scoop Up Net that guy. Put this Bellsprout. We'll just exchange this with the Pokecom to get another Salandit. Because if they do decide to knock out our Salazzle, we have a backup. Put that there. Put that Twin Energy for Decisive Roasting to knock out ADP for 3 prizes. Oh, so good. This deck is so good. You guys gotta try this out. Sweet. Alright, our opponent scoops. Good game. Alright. Corviknight, come out! Oof, we're up against another fire deck. Yeah, fire decks are very common in the ladder. So, Zacian V goes in the active, which is very scary. And they have Volcanion in the active. I'm just gonna Intrepid Sword here. I was thinking of putting the Twin Energy so that we can escape. But you know what? We can retreat with 2 energies. But we have Skyla. We can just get we can get a switch or something to get him out of there. Okay, so we are up against the Reshizard deck. So they have the upper hand because they're going second. Now they can use the fire something, flare starter to get 3 energies on Reshizard. Oh, okay. Yeah, Volcanion should be able to deal with Zacian V easily with one attack because it's hitting for weakness. So let's just use Level Ball here. Let's get set up as best we can. And I'm just gonna use Boss's Order and confuse this guy. At least they won't be able to attack that easy. I'm gonna remove the one from Volcanion. And then attach Twin Energy and just Intrepid Sword. Yeah, I removed the one from Volcanion because if they switch out to get out of that confusion, at least Volcanion. I mean, they just need 1 energy. You know, I don't think it really mattered. But at least that's 1 less energy they have. Okay. Yeah, Welder is broken for sure. Welder is broken. Gets you 2 energies and then draws 3 cards. Crazy. That should not be allowed. Oh man, another escape rope. So that's it for a Zacian V. Oh man. So it's not looking good for us here. We have we have 1 Pokemon left. Okay, well we got a level ball off of the top deck, which is good. I think I'll just get another attacker. So Salandit will go there. We have Koga's Trap, so we should be okay for now. Gonna get a Bellsprout, get that ready. And I could just use Koga's Trap. So I'll evolve into Salazzle. Put this Aurora Energy. Let's see, which one should I discard? I'll just discard the Scoop Up Net for now. Use Koga's Trap. At least with those 2 special conditions, Derisive Roasting will do 180 damage plus 1. 190. So that gets us in range. It'll be easier for us to knock out this Reshizard. Okay, so next turn we're gonna evolve into our next Salazzle on the bench and probably use Professor's Research. I could also use Skyla, maybe get Turffield Stadium so we can get Weepinbell. But I think the best move is to use Professor's Research. That will get us more cards in our hand. Okay, they got another Reshizard and a Crobat. Okay. Ooh, they're gonna hard retreat. Okay. They'll need 4 energies in play at least. Okay, I spoke too soon. And if they have a Welder. Ugh, okay. Alright, alright. So that's actually a pretty good move. Volcanion was able to knock one of ours, and even if we knock out this Volcanion, they're only losing 1 prize card. So we're not looking good here. You do get a Capture Energy. Let's get our last Salandit in the bench. Unfortunately, that's our last one. So we'll need Ordinary Rod pretty soon. But for now, I'm going to use Professor's Research so we can get more cards in our hand. Not much to go by. I could put U-turn board on Salazzle. So even if they Marnie us, we'll have that. It might come in handy at some point. There's no way we can inflict anything, so I'm just gonna perplex with that Aurora Energy. So you know what? At least we disrupted the guy. And that sets us up for an attack actually. So yeah, perplex can come in handy when you have nothing else. For sure. You won't use it all the time, but sometimes you may have to. Perplex. Yeah, so the deck, the build that I made here is inclusive of the other attacks that you know, Weepinbell. I also included Victreebel in this build with the grass energy. Unfortunately, our opponent knocks out our Salazzle. We have 2 lines of Salazzle in the okay, we got a Weepinbell. But now we don't have an evolution for Salazzle. Let's evolve. At least we can poison and burn this guy. And I think we're just gonna have to hold on. Let me just put this here, and I'm just gonna Marnie. We need a Salazzle of some sort. We have fans, but I think I need to cut down on these fans. I'm just gonna use Ordinary Rod, and I'll get Zacian and a Salazzle. Not much we could do. I'll just retreat, sacrifice Weepinbell. That's the best I could do right now. Yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good. Yeah, I think one. You know, sometimes it's so hard to decide how many cards you need in a deck. Fan of Waves is pretty useful against opponents that utilize a lot of special energy, like Salazzle. But like this fire deck, it's all just basic energy, so it's basically useless in this match. Okay. Oof, okay. I was hoping that it would stay that way. The Reshizard can get knocked out. You know, we can use this Mew to knock out this Reshizard. Let's get a Bellsprout. But they only need one more prize to win. But that's okay. We'll do our best. We just need one here because it's gonna get poisoned and knock it out. And at least we got 2 chip damage on the Charizard and Bryson. Okay. If they have a welder here, they win the game. That's it. What? What? Okay. I guess they don't have anything. They're just gonna use the GX attack to get more fire energies. And it burns and confuses our Mew. But that's okay, we can just retreat. We need a Salazzle, guys. A Salazzle. Let's do this. Evolve into Weepinbell. Oh, you know what? We can scoop up net. Yeah. Let's confuse this guy. Retreat. Scoop up Weepinbell. Use Pokecom to get a Salazzle. Oh, we have 3 in the deck actually. Okay. Cool. Dude, we are gonna win this game. Retreat. And derisive roasting for 270 damage. Knocking out that tag team for 3 prizes. Oh my gosh, that was so close. Alright, the hunt continues. Corviknight, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Alright, we can put Salandit in the active. Corviknight VMAX! Let's go! Dude, literally, guys, I've been playing a lot of games just to get to this point. And they already have the metal energy that prevents weakness. Okay. Let's Pokemon communication. I'm so nervous right now. I have to win this game, because if I don't, I'll have to find another Corviknight to battle. My gosh. I'll just get Zacian V here. I think... yeah, I'll just Intrepid Sword, because if they evolve into Corviknight VMAX, they can just retreat, and that confusion will be gone. Let's go. Let's go. I'm so tired, guys. So tired of looking for a Corviknight match. Yeah, so again, I've been battling a lot of Corviknight VMAX and always lose because of that ability. 320, and with that goggles, it's gonna be 340, and it's not weak to fire, so we need that Fan of Waves. We have Fan of Waves, so we'll keep that for sure. I'll put this Big Charm just in case. I'm just gonna confuse it. They don't have a Pokemon to retreat to yet, so I feel a little bit confident with that. Use Turffield Stadium. Get a Weepinbell. 340 damage. Wish we could evolve into Weepinbell. At least get that chip damage. I'm just gonna scoop up this because I can't afford to get it knocked out just yet. We don't need Mew as much in this matchup, and I'm just gonna use Intrepid Sword. Okay, so I'm trying to be as careful as I can with what I do, because you really need precision basically to win this match. First of all, we gotta get rid of that coating energy so that it will be weak to fire, and we also need Koga's Trap, because again, Weepinbell's ability will not work against this. And there it is, the Bronzong line. Ooh, okay. That confusion kind of did that chip damage for us. Okay, I'll take that. I'm gonna get a Salazzle. You know what? Let me get a Salandit instead. I'm not ready yet because we need Koga's Trap. Let's put this Twin Energy for now. I'm gonna use Skyla. Get a Koga's Trap. So we have the elements here. Hopefully, let's just get another Weepinbell just in case. You know what? Let me get a Victreebel, because if we need to do some chip damage, we could do that. We could do that. So I'm just gonna Intrepid Sword, and so we have all the elements. Koga's Trap. All we need to do is Fan of Waves. We need a Salazzle though. And then hit for weakness. No! No! The Marnie! Well, that took away everything we needed. Oh, okay, okay. We have Salazzle, and we have Koga's Trap. But it's not gonna be weak to fire, so we're still not gonna do. We're gonna do some damage, a large dent to it, but it's not gonna be enough. And if they evolve into Bronzong, and if they have Cheryl, they can just heal it all back. They can just heal it all back. Unbelievable. Corviknight V. I'm gonna make the deck for this. I do have 2 Corviknight VMAX. I did pull 1 out of the... No, I did pull 2. I pulled 2 off of my free packs that I bought with my coins. But, okay, so they're gonna transfer everything to this Corviknight V. Metal core barrier? What is this? I was hoping we could knock it out, but now we can't. Because it has, we're hitting for 70 damage less. So, usually with just regular, we do hit for exactly 210. So, 180 with Koga's Trap, 180 plus Poison and Burn. You'll do 210 damage. So fortunately for us though, this Corviknight V is not immune. So we'll do Weepinbell, Burn, and Poison. And I can energize the Salazzle just in case we need a second attacker. And I'm gonna use Skyla to get a Yell Horn, because I don't want to use Koga's Trap. My largest fear is that VMAX, because it's immune to Weepinbell. So with that, we can knock out this guy for 200 and oh my I thought I did knock it out. Okay, so the Poison and Burn. Okay, nice. Ooh, that was so close. Okay, dude, I got scared there for a second. Okay, so now with this dude, they have to have another coding energy to knock this guy, to keep this guy alive. They need a coding energy. What are you looking for, buddy? Zacian V. Okay. Dude, if they don't have anything, we can use Koga's Trap and then finish off this Corviknight VMAX, because we are hitting for weakness. Let's go, come on. Can't believe I'm gonna win this. Dude, they don't have anything in their hand. Corviknight VMAX, I've been looking all over for you, and now I will come out victorious here. So, let's scoop up this Bellsprout Weepinbell. We're gonna use Koga's Trap for sure, because Weepinbell does not work on this dude. Let's just get a Victreebel. Again, just a backup plan. Koga's Trap. We should be dealing 180 damage. 330, yeah, less 2. Yeah. For 3. Yes! Yes! I will count that as a victory against Corviknight VMAX, who is immune to Weepinbell and our opponent's Goose. Thank you so much for that. Good game. Salazzle and Weepinbell are such a strong team. If you're looking for a budget deck, this is definitely one you should look into building. It has such a high potential, and it's very colorful. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to smash that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Feel free to share this content, and please consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.